Hi guys, this is a video on how to make a king prawn vegetable kind of pad thai, but not necessarily pad thai stir fry. You need a pepper, doesn't matter what colour really, I've got a yellow because there's a yellow one. A handful of spring onions, so about four or five mushrooms, just like button mushrooms or just any type of mushroom you like. A pack of king prawns, it doesn't matter how much you have, roughly about at least 100 grams, but preferably about 125, 150. I use just a pad thai noodle paste from Marks and Spencer's, and then there's also hoisin sauce, which I just use to like dress it afterwards to give it some extra flavour. You also need a chopping board, a knife, and try and make it get as sharp a knife as possible. And also a frying pan. I need a big one. A frying pan or wok, preferably a wok, but I haven't got one, so I'm using a frying pan. It doesn't make much difference. So that's all your stuff. Basically, you just need to chop all the vegetables up into smallish pieces. So I'll just show you briefly. You just need about like ½ centimetre chunks. Okay. With your spring onions, if there's any bits that look a bit bodged, just don't chop them. So you need spring onion pieces about that big. So they're only about ½ centimetre to a centimetre. So chop all your spring onions like that, and then put them to the side. Then you want to get your mushrooms and chop them to about ½ centimetre thick, in any way really, doesn't really matter. You just want them about ½ centimetre thick. And then make them as small or as big as you like. If you want big mushrooms, have big mushrooms, basically. And so yeah, that's how you chop mushrooms. Pepper, just slice down the side, and then any of this white middle bit, just try and carve out so you don't have all the white middle bit, it's not very nice. And then just slice down and do about ½ centimetre slices. Stabbing myself. And then if you don't want them really long, just chop them in half. And then it should be a bit smaller. Okay, so you want to chop all your vegetables like that. And anyway, when you're chopping the spring onions, you need to chop like right at the end off. So there's little end bits. Sometimes they don't have them, but mine did. So you've chopped all your vegetables and just put them in a bowl or something. Then you're going to get your pack of prawns. Mine are pre-cooked. I usually try and use raw because then you can do a thing where you score down the back like that. And then when you cook them, they all fold outwards and they look quite nice. But because these are cooked already, it doesn't really matter. You just need to kind of toss them in. So anyway, prawns are cooked, so we'll go to this. Okay, so you need to get your frying pan, turn it on, put it on the white hot, preferably, and put a bit of oil, olive oil, preferably, in the pan. And wait for that to heat up. Also guys, haven't mentioned this, you need just some egg noodles, or just any noodles really. Egg noodles are good. You can get rice noodles as well, they're different but they're quite fine. And so at this point, when you've got the vegetables chopped up, you need to put a pan of water, small water, that's big enough to fit your egg noodles in. You only want however much egg noodles you want for each person. Put a little bit of oil in the pan of water just because it makes it taste nicer. And then a bit of salt. And a bit of pepper. And just put them on that and let that boil, and then the noodles cook in about a couple of minutes so you can get on with the stir fry. Okay, so now my water's on for the noodles. The pan's got all the oil in it, it's all hot and steaming away. I've put a little fan on to extract all the stuff, fumey things. So now you want to get all your vegetables and put them into the pan. And make crackly noises. And just stir it around a bit. Try not to get splattered with oil. It does tend to kind of splatter oil quite a lot. And anyway, leave that for probably about 5 minutes of frying, and then it'll all settle down and start browning, and the mushrooms will go soft and peppers will go soft. And yeah, leave that stir frying. Keep stirring it every minute or two, just to make sure everything gets cooked rather than just the stuff at the bottom. Just a little hint for some people. Instead of stirring, you can do a kind of flippy action just to toss it round, and it kind of coats everything in oil and it kind of cooks a bit better if you do that way. So if you can, try and do the kind of not pancake tossing, but just like flick it over the back. You can throw the pan forward and do that, but quite quickly, and then try not to get it over. And then it just kind of coats everything in oil and cooks everything evenly. Okay, now the frying stuff has been in for about 4 or 5 minutes, and it's all kind of shrunk a bit. All the mushrooms have shrunk, and it's all gone a bit brown and tasty. You can try a bit of mushroom more. If it tastes cooked, then it's cooked probably. It doesn't matter, it's only vegetables, so you're not going to get food poisoning. If prawns are not cooked, you probably should put them in now, but mine are cooked already, so I'm going to leave them a little bit because they should be okay because they're already cooked. And I don't need to cook them again. I just need to heat them up and fry them a bit. My water's not boiling because it's stupid. So now you need to basically turn the frying stuff down and wait for your noodles, because you ought to have put the noodles on probably at the start, or I should, because it takes a while to heat water up. So yeah, turn your stir fry right down so it's just like simmering, well, not simmering, but very low heat. And yeah, wait for your noodle water to heat up, and then cook your noodles. Okay, my water's just boiling now, so I'm just putting in my noodles. I've put one little kind of pack thing in as well already. Just put like whatever the pack recommends for each person. So mine's probably going to be for like 1 or 2 people. And just put that in and put the lid on the side. And leave that, and it should cook, and it will be ready in 3 minutes apparently. So keep stirring your stir fry and make sure that's like not burning or anything. It shouldn't be. If it's on low, it will just kind of cook everything quite thoroughly. And yeah. Okay, my noodles are almost done. They're going to be going in a minute. Now what you want to be doing is get all the prawns, however many you've got, and put them all in. Try not to get all there's sometimes some water in the pack. Don't get the water in with the stir fry because it's not really nice. And then just stir it around so it's all mixed. And spread it out. And they'll just brown a little bit and cook a bit more. And they'll like get the flavour from all the vegetables, because it does taste quite nice just without any sauces at the moment. But you've got to add the paste and whatever sauces you want afterwards. So add the prawns and let them cook. Well, they're already cooked, but let them cook for about a minute. And then the noodles should be ready, and you can drain them and put them in soon. Okay, so my noodles are ready now, so turn them off at the hob and just drain all the water away. Use a strainer, not strainer. Use like a colander if you need to, I don't, because I have the skill needed to drain without dropping anything quickly. So drain most of the water but not all of it, because you don't want them to go dry. And then get all your noodles, which you've just got, and just tip them into your pan and scoop them out. Okay, so now you want to turn your pan up a little bit. So I've got all my noodles in my pan, and I'm just going to mix it around a bit so all the vegetables are mixed in with the noodles. It's always annoying doing this because they never seem to like properly mix in. You've always got loads of vegetables and stuff around the edge, and then the noodles are all in the middle. But try your best to just mix it as much as you can. And leave that just to cook it for about another minute. Okay, this is just an optional bit if you want to. What I sometimes do is when the noodles and vegetables are all done, or not done, but when they're all cooking just before you put the sauce in, get 2 eggs, just medium eggs, or a large, or however much you want, it doesn't really matter, and crack it into a bowl. And check you haven't got any bits in. Nope. And just get a fork, can be the same one you're using, make sure if you do then you make sure you use a different one later because it's going to have raw egg on it. And get the fork and just whisk it around a bit. If you want to use a whisk, but I'm using a fork because it does the same thing. So mix it all around so it mixes together and there's no like, preferably a little kind of separated egg and stuff. And then you've got your little egg mix. Then I want to go to a stir fry and kind of drizzle it over the top of the whole thing, and then quickly get as much of it in as you can, and then with a spoon kind of just toss it round. Just grab it and throw it over and twiddle it and move it, keep moving it around basically, because you don't want any of the egg to stick to the base of the pan. And the egg just cooks off in the stir fry. And everything keeps coming up, but just keep turning it, and then it just kind of binds it all together a bit, but it just gives it a lot more flavour. And pad thai's kind of meant to have egg in them anyway if you're doing a pad thai. So keep turning it around and moving it. So basically you want all the egg to cook, and it shouldn't like make it just one big blob. It should still be free to like move and whatever, but it should just have like, if you look, it's just got little bits of like white egg everywhere. And put your bowl. Okay, once all the eggs cooked, get your jar of sauce or paste. Mine is just a pad thai noodle paste, and read the back and it should say how much you should put in. Mine says half a jar. It's about half a jar, it doesn't matter if it's a bit under. And get that and just put it in on top. And a little trick is if you've just finished the jar off, you can always see there's like some left over in the jar. So I just get a little bit of water, put a little bit of water in. So I'll fill it up about half full with water, put the lid back on, and just shake it. And it just gets all the bits of the sauce out. And then, try not to spill it everywhere, and then just pour that on top as well. And then stir it around, and try and kind of coat everywhere with a bit of sauce. And you also, anyway, after putting that little bit of water in, you should get your container or just a cup and fill it up with water. And then just keep adding little bits of water, and it just kind of stops it from sticking and separating, and sticking all together. And then keep stirring it around. And it helps the flavour kind of go everywhere rather than just in one bit that you've just added. Make sure it's not all spread out. Make sure it is all spread out, sorry. And to the side. So leave that just to cook for about another 30 seconds. Okay, so now you're basically finished. So it's all cooked, the sauce is all mixed in, and you just want to get a plate which you're going to serve it onto, and put however much each person wants. And so try and get a bit of everything, because everything seems to kind of not mix very well. It doesn't matter if you're rough, it doesn't matter about presentation really, unless you want to look nice, in which this isn't really a dish for you, because this is more of like a kind of rough dish. You try and make it look quite nice. Prawns on top. There you go. So that is my pad thai, kind of prawn pad thai, eggy, tasty kind of dish. It's very nice and it's very healthy and very filling and tasty. So have a go at making it if you want. And yeah, there you go. Tuck in. Okay guys, something I didn't mention. I said I was going to use some hoisin sauce. And basically if you want to put any sauce on, just get a little bit of sauce. Just over the top. This is watered down hoisin sauce because it's like the leftover bit of bottle. And there you go. That looks very tasty. I'm just going to go and eat that now. So, hope you enjoyed this video. So anyway, see you in another video maybe. Bye.